Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome myself back to the second time of trying to record this reaction because my mic stopped. I'd already updated Windows. I thought maybe that was the issue, but I did finally just go ahead and update OBS, and I saw somewhere in the update that one of the crashes was or one of the updates is that it was fixing an error where the source audio source would stop being picked up or would crash. So that's why I just went ahead and updated it. Hope that everything goes well. So I will be periodically looking over at OBS to make sure it's still picking up sound. But don't worry, I'm not missing anything really, because obviously I can see the YouTube. I can see the window on OBS, but I don't want to. I'm not someone who edits a lot or really edits at all unless something really embarrassing happens and I need to edit it or I make some terrible mistake. So it would be ashamed if, as I just record this whole thing and then 20 minutes into it, my sound just stops or my mic just stops picking up sound in OBS, and I don't get to that point when I'm just doing a casual check before uploading, and I've just got this uploaded and on YouTube published, and there's just 20-minute mark, no sound. So, yeah. So I did already see the intro to this guide. Oh, right. Sorry. Today, I'm doing the Ateez guide. I'm splitting this into two parts. Just because it's kind of long. So I figure it's about 90 minutes. So around the 45 minute mark, which would be after the third member, is where I'm going to split it at. But yeah, I had just started to get into the background part, but I'm going to start the whole thing over, if only to cheat so I could hear some of the songs again. I don't really care about spoilers. It just gets me excited to get through the discography. So, and it really did do the job this time, because when the person who made the guide was sort of referencing, how they often release double singles. Oh yeah, so that's something that that was a point that I think I noticed my mic stopped working. I was just saying it's really fucking cool because they were saying that they have like an official release, but they also have like fans sort of vote on what song that they would, they like release clips and things like that, and have their fans decide what the single should be or something like that. So I guess they'll have like an official single and then whatever song the fans chose and release them at the same time, which I've never heard of, and I think it's just really, really freaking cool. So I'm loving it already. They're a little they're definitely chaotic, and it seems, which I mean, probably most groups are at this point, since they don't. That's not some companies don't seem to be pushing that super polished, perfect image anymore. They seem to just let groups go wild these days. So I'm excited. It makes everything more exciting. So they seem chaotic, and I'm loving hearing a little bit more different sides of their music. And of course, the stages look awesome, stuff like that too. And some of these title tracks I'm hearing the little snippets of are getting me really excited. So that's all that I had gotten to so far. I hadn't gotten to the members yet. Yeah, so I'm gonna get back into it, do half of it, keep checking my audio, hope everything goes well, and let's try this again. Yeah, I got this part, and I said it's probably an inside joke I don't get yet.
A quick spoiler disclaimer. This guide will include various clips from music videos, live stages, and more. If you don't want them to be spoiled, I suggest watching them first and then coming back to this guide after. Now, onto the video.
Rocky? Rocket? Trying to pick that word.
We're Ateez.
Oh, is it this? That's cool.
Ateez is an 8-member South Korean boy band formed by KQ Entertainment.
This was so cute. I saw this.
The group consists of Hongjoong.
Hongjoong. I know him.
Seonghwa.
Don't know Sun.
Yunho.
I know Yunho. Yuzong. Interesting. Okay.
Sam.
I want to know more about this guy. Intrigues me.
Mingy.
And the rapper intrigues me.
Wooyoung. And Jongho.
Jongho.
This is how they pronounce their names.
Hi, my name is Seonghwa. My name is Hongjoong. And you know. 안녕하세요. We are Ateez. My name is Chesai. My name is Mingy. I'm Wooyoung. I'm Jongho. We are Ateez.
Jongho, is that to say he's
that
adorable?
You are probably very excited to learn new facts about the members. But before that, I would like to tell you some things about Ateez as a group.
Yay, please do. 8 teenagers. Okay. Okay.
Ateez debuted on October 24th, 2018.
I like this. What's this?
With double title tracks Pirate King and Treasure. You'll find that they do that a lot.
I love Pirate King. I reacted to Pirate King and Treasure. I want this one. I want to hear this one. I want to hear that one too. I want to hear everything. What am I talking about? Oh, and I said this gave me shiny vibes. If you're a child, let me know. That gave me shiny vibes.
The reason for this is that Ateez often involves fans and the public in choosing which song is going to be their title
so cool.
track. By a process of listening to clips and watching previews of both songs, then voting. So though 2 music videos come out, only one is the true official title track. Their other title tracks include Say My Name, Wonderland, Answer, Fireworks, Gorilla, and
Gorilla.
While Ateez is known for
That's
their
one of my favorites.
hard-hitting anthem-like songs,
I've heard at this point.
Most people don't know that Ateez is a group.
I'll go back a little. Actually, no, I don't think I should go back. I might mess it up at this point. I was just gonna say, if you happen to stumble across this guide reaction, I did like a sample series. Well, first I had 4 like boy groups, and I asked people to vote, and Ateez won. So I decided to go with Ateez. But beforehand, what I did was a little like sample series thing so that I could just see like what kind of get a taste of what they're about. Try to see what the vibe is, what some of kind of what their sound kind of was. So I've heard Treasure, I've heard Pirate King, I heard Bouncy, and Crazy Form. Because what I did with the sample series was I listened to their debut, which I now know makes sense. It seemed like there were 2 debut title tracks, and there kind of was. So that's how I ended up with Pirate King and Treasure. And then I was gonna listen to whatever had the most the most views or whatever. And I believe that was Bouncy. And then I listened to the most recent release for title track, which was Crazy Form. And then I had a second part of the sample series where I listened to, or maybe this wasn't the same one, I'm not even sure at this point, but just trying to go over what I've heard, so it doesn't matter where it is. But and then I also heard, oh my god, now I don't know the name, but what seemed to be like the most streamed on Spotify, the most streamed B-side, and not something that was just a couple members, because I know that on the most recent album they seem to have like unit songs. So, but I can't remember what that song was though. That's a shame. But in any case, I heard Gorilla, so that's what did it for me. And then I also heard like a softer song that was recommended, and that was really nice. And I heard Wonderland, and I've heard two versions of Wonderland, and I think I've heard two versions of Gorilla because they have one that's more of a rock mix to it. So yeah, so I have at this point heard a nice chunk, a good handful of AT's songs. And if you just want to go and watch those reactions, because I'm useless now because I can't remember what those songs were. They're there for you. They're there for you. But yeah, I'm excited. So I'm excited to get into this deep dive. So because I'm not like I've got some kind of feel for the discography already. And I know Hongjoong and I'm already forgetting. I'm already forgetting his name, but I definitely know his face. The host of Idol Radio. I know them uh, pretty well because I watched when Dreamcatcher, promotes. They'll go on there, and that's really got me interested. That, of course, knowing that they share is Edenary, that they share the producers, and then just sort of seeing what the vibe is with them and Dreamcatcher. They seem to get along really well, and they're really funny and charming. So I was like, you know what, I it piqued my interest for sure. So that's why I'm here. If you didn't know, and I'll continue, and I'll try not to pause too much because it's going to be long enough, even splitting it in half.
Group that frequently visits their softer, more sentimental side.
Hongjoong has so many hair colors. And I love his voice.
Ateenies love to talk about Ateez's current position as the fourth-gen leaders of K-pop. But describing their past and where they started is an even better story. Ateez come from a very small company.
Yeah.
They were the very first trainees to come from KQ. They didn't have much money when they started, which is noticeable when you watch their debut music videos. Treasure and Pirate King, though was shot in Morocco, involved using free sets to spend the least amount of money. You can even see a tourist in the background of the Treasure official music video.
Oh, no way!
All of this makes it even more remarkable that Ateez is where they are now. Ateez
I'll say they just played Coachella, dude.
Every week,
wow.
When they would get to a music show, they had to shorten their songs just to get a spot. They would even skip a week sometimes. At a recent interview with It's Live, San said that they really didn't have anything and came up from nothing. The first member to join KQ and the group was Hongjoong. One could say that he literally sacrificed his sweat and tears to get Ateez to where they are now. While KQ is a small entertainment company that most people have never heard of, the talent that comes from it is nowhere near small.
Why do I always seem to fall for this like that?
Ateez's producing team includes Eden, and Edenary, a special production team consisting of Eden, Buddy, Lee's, Allaunder, Pepperoni, HLB, and Olive.
I know them well.
It also includes Hongjoong and Mingi.
Oh, really?
Just like their producers, Ateez's choreographers, BB Trippin, are top tier and have played a big part in who they are today. Because KQ Entertainment is an extremely small company, Ateez has an amazingly close relationship to the staff and everyone in the company, to the point that they call the CEO Abuji, the Korean word for father.
I love this. love that. You hear a lot about companies that mistreat their artists, and I mean, like I love SM groups so much. I love SM artists so much, and I don't think I've ever known of a company that prominent, or an agency or label, whatever, in terms of K-pop, that prominent, where their artists openly, openly hate their company so much. Like, I don't know where the respect ends, because I know that they seem to have a good relationship with their managers, basically the grunts of the company, right? So the makeup people, styling, managers, the people who are kind of the more service, at the service level, who are like kind of working on the same level with the artists, interacting with them every day, they seem to get along really well. Like, the artists seem to get along really well with them, but at some point the respect ends, and they do not like the actual business side of SM. They don't like the treatment of that they get at SM. So it's, and and I just mentioned SM because that's the only, I just don't follow a lot of K-pop. And that's just the only company that I've seen where the artists just openly hate it. But we also know that in general, whether artists would be open about it or not, there's so much mistreatment in the industry. So it warms my heart when a group actually appreciates their CEO, and it's not just this respectability thing. It's not just this it's not just this politeness of, well, we have to, because we have to be grateful, because we're making a living and this is our job, and blah blah blah. Like, aside from that, on a personal level, they have love and appreciation for the CEO, because it starts at the top. If a group or an artist actually loves the CEO, and they actually respect and admire the CEO, then they gotta be happy at the, because that has to trickle down, because they're not going to accept anything else than what they're putting out there from the top. So I would just start off by saying I already have good feelings. It's a relief already. But then I was also mentioned, like, why is it that I always seem to be drawn to these groups? I just did an idol deep dive, and I'm deep in it with G Idol at this point. Not the same thing exactly, because they hate Cube, because Cube treats them like dirt, and basically set them up for failure, thought they were going to fail. But they've basically made Cube what it is at this point. I mean, they are Cube. They are massively successful now, when they started out, and they weren't getting any help from Cube to be successful. So kind of that started from nothing, kind of same kind of thing, except they didn't even have their own agency or company behind them. So that's really sad. But just in the same sense that Ateez has really come from nothing, and were in dire straits, it seems, when they first started out, and really, I mean, I imagine that they have just an extremely strong bond, because when you're bonding through adversity, that's a bond, that's an unbreakable bond right there. So that's already just so heartwarming. And of course, and I'm sure I'll mention, this is the one group that I will not police myself so much when it comes to mentioning Dreamcatcher, because it's going to be freaking impossible not to mention Dreamcatcher as a Dreamcatcher alt or whatever. But in that same regard, Dreamcatcher being from an extremely small company, unfortunately never hitting the monumental success as Idol and Ateez, but still damn successful, and really happy to do that all on their own with like 2 cents in a dream. So it's just so funny that I keep being drawn to groups that have this similar kind of started from the bottom, now be here kind of backstory or background without knowing it. It just keeps happening. All right. Yep, that's why I'm splitting it in half, because I also talked.
They've even attended and sang at 2 weddings last year, one for a staff member and the other for their main producer Eden.
And they actually dressed up for the wedding. Okay. Idols don't do that.
In 2018, Ateez spent a month in Los Angeles preparing for their debut. At this time, as trainees, they were called KQ Fellas. The training in Los Angeles proved better than anyone could have ever imagined. Because when Ateez came back, they arrived as performance monsters. In May of 2018, KQ Fellas unleashed 3 viral
I can't wait for these
to the world, carving out a name for themselves as one of the best dance groups in the K-pop industry.
That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, I can't wait. Yeah.
If this guide accomplishes half of what it was intended to, then you should be leaving here as an Atiny, unless you were already one to begin with. Atiny, the name of Ateez's fandom, is a combination of the words Ateez and destiny. If you should know anything about Ateez,
I always wondered.
Every facet of their history is a testament to the fact that Ateez was meant to be. The fandom name was announced on November 17, 2018, creating one of the most important songs in Ateez's discography, Star 1117. Star 1117 is a song made for fans and is one of the ending songs Ateez sings at their concert. It means a lot to Ateez and Atiny's, and it has the tendency to make us emotional.
Chills. Chills, man. Chills. Is that Captain Hongjoong crying?
Recently, at the last stop in their second world tour in 2022, Atiny's, in conjunction with Hello 82 and KQ, laid a surprise gift for Ateez that ended in nostalgic and grateful tears. It was a video of their journey from the beginning, the heartfelt thoughts of Atiny's all over the country that had gone to see them in concert, and a serenade from us to them.
I like choked up.
Ateez also involved Atiny's in the process of creating their light stick, which was aptly named Lightiny.
Oh, that's so cute.
Wonder how the name Ateez came about. It was voted on by KQ and the Ateez members themselves. It stands for Everything Teenagers A to Z. They were to be a group that encapsulated and fully personified everything teenagers go through, both the good and the bad. And Ateez truly does that. You can read any of Ateez's lyrics and feel the true emotion that they evoke out of someone. They are meant to inspire, to sympathize with, and to give strength to those that listen. Ateez introduces themselves with the chant 8 makes one team.
Nice.
Family, friendship, and relationship are extremely important to them.
Okay, check the fits though. Ooh, clean.
인사드리겠습니다. 둘, 셋.
That's the quickest I could have ever imagined that sentence being said. The 8 makes one team. I love the foot thing.
And even when one member is unable to be there at the time, Ateez never allows them to be forgotten.
빅송. 같이. 오케이. 민기 집에서 발 해야 돼. 발 일어서서 해야 돼.
발 꺼내, 당장 꺼내.
자 간다.
오케이.
같이 해야 돼.
모여.
자. 둘, 셋. MX 원팀. 파이팅! 감사합니다.
I love that.
우리 에이티니들을 생각하며. 둘, 셋. MX 원팀. 파이팅!
Another chant you should know about is Ateez present, which is frequently said in the beginning of their songs. It's not always there, but when it is, it's an indication that things are about to get crazy. If you have watched even just a few of Ateez's music videos,
I have.
you will notice a pattern of ending scenes. They are the puzzle pieces Ateez gives to us to string together their storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, according to Hongjoong, they have yet to reveal even half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Explaining the storyline should be left to rocket scientists at MIT. But what Atiny can tell you is that Ateez are pirates. The Ateez universe involves alter egos, referred to respectively as Ateez, and time travel. Which is why you see the sand clock so often, even though in Ateez lore, it is called a chromer. There are two universes, Universe A and Universe C. This fact also ties into their name, A2Z. In their convoluted timeline, Ateez travel dimensions as well. Throughout Ateez's music videos, you will find them in the desert, at a school, in a ship in the sky, and even trapped in a clear box. This is because Ateez's story weaves in and out of their present and past. If you would like to delve deeper into Ateez's lore, I suggest watching their Zero Fever Part 1 diary film, the World Movement trailers, and the spin-off, From the Witness prologue and epilogue. Ateez is known for many things, the most prominent being masters of performance.
I know that's right.
It is often said that the worst dancer in Ateez could rightly be the main dancer in another group.
Oh, I know such things. I know such things.
Choreographers, including Leah Kim, Sienna Lalo, Kyo Madrid, Honey J, Nose, and Sean Lu. They have collaborated with, worked with, praised, and covered Ateez. Ateez is revered by younger artists as role models both on and off stage, and are praised by experts, sunbaenings, and peers as the K-pop group to watch out for.
Eric! I like is it Bang Chan or Bang Chan? Bang Chan? I don't know Stray Kids, but I know him. It's this song, okay. I've heard this song somewhere.
This is why Ateez has been on the show Immortal Songs 5 times and won 3 times. Ateez made history by being the only 4th-generation K-pop group to do so, and also the fastest K-pop group ever to win it 3 times. You will never find an Ateez stage lacking, and Ateez take a lot of pride in that fact. Psy himself said that all of my junior artists do their best, but Ateez's specialty is that they work hard and do well. In my personal opinion, I think they're the next generation K-pop leaders.
I'm so distracted by the vocals.
Skills, effort, and talent has gotten them far over these past 3 years. And as a result, a huge increase in fans has become overwhelmingly evident. While Ateez sold out their entire world tour just 4 months after debuting, the exponential increase in size and venue is quite shocking. Ateez's 2019 concert in New York boasted of 800 people for their sold-out 2020 tour, which was postponed to 2022. That number shot up to 19,500.
Now that's interesting.
Ateez's
that's
hard
interesting.
Work and talent brought
that's
hold
on.
Out of the
I wanna. Yeah, I want to marinate on that for a second. So like. Okay, so they planned a 2020 tour, and because they had sort of recently debuted, they had booked smaller venues. The world fell to crap in 2020. Everything shut down, live music shut down, no concerts. They're still in the grind, they're still doing their thing. They planned that same tour to make up for, the 2020 tour. And they've not even more than quadruple, more than quadruple, but you know what I'm saying? And they go from 800 to, what was that? What was it? 20,000? Something like that? That's phenomenal. I can't imagine how that feels, especially with 2020 just being so daunting, you know, in itself. I can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine what most groups are going through when performing on these music shows, and I mean, especially I should specify new groups. What they were going through, new groups and small groups going through, just worried about their future, probably because they couldn't really go on music shows or interact with fans in that way that seems so necessary when you are either a smaller group or a new group. So all of that going on, being concerned about that, and then on top of everything, you know, not knowing when it's going to end, but being in their position, and in the meantime, you're just getting more and more popular and really raising your profile in the industry, and you come out of the other side of a pandemic superstar. Like, that's amazing. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I got a little lightheaded. We're just gonna push through it.
Beauty. The exponential increase in size and venue is quite shocking. Ateez's 2019 concert in New York boasted of 800 people for their sold-out 2020 tour, which was postponed to 2022. That number shot up to 19,000.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. The 800 was the 2019. It's the robotic voice isn't good at ending sentences. Okay, so they're saying 2019 was 800 people. They planned the 2020 tour. It was already in 2020. They were doing like a 20,000 seater thing, but it just got postponed. Okay, that's even more impressive. that's even more ridiculous. From 2019 to 2020. That's wild, bro.
Ateez's hard work and talent brought KQ out of the millions of dollars in debt the company went into in order to debut them.
Yeah.
It turned 431st day sales for their debut album into 1.1 million pre-orders for their July 2022 comeback. Ateez have also gotten the opportunity to make several original soundtracks for dramas and anime shows.
Ooh.
Their hard work and endurance has made them the best-selling non-big 4K pop artist. The passion and love for what they do has marked them, by experts, professionals, and fellow idols, as one of the top and very best performers in the entire K-pop industry.
Nice.
Not only have fans recognized their abilities, but it seems others have too. After the American leg of their 2022 tour, Ateez's stay had to be lengthened due to the high demand for interviews. Ateez was even invited to interview and perform at the Grammy Museum, making them the fourth K-pop group and the very first fourth-generation K-pop group to be invited. Ateez have no qualms about telling Atinies how they feel about us. In fact, Ateez has a phenomenal relationship with their fans. They are not afraid to be emotional with us, and that is what makes Ateez and Atinies so close. All in all, it's clear that Ateez, while not sharing one brain cell
smaller
between
groups,
8 of them,
they have a different level of I mean, obviously they're not small. Sorry.
In the K-pop industry. Not
when they're from a small company
and relax,
or a smaller group, they have a different level of appreciation for their fans.
Whenever they upload a dance practice. But a huge part of who they are is rooted in staying humble and kind. So, it makes sense that on May 8, 2020, the Korean Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism named Ateez as their 2020 promotional ambassador, with the goal of promoting Korean culture and tourism abroad. In some places in Korea, Ateez is known as the K-pop group that conquered the US. This is because Ateez has a very strong global fan base. After Ateez's 2022 US tour, some 100,000 people joined Ateez's official fan community. This is a strong testament to the power Ateez holds and their ability to captivate the hearts of people all over the world. If you want to get to know the boys better, Their fun and chaotic personalities are quite evident in their variety shows, KQ Fellas,
Ooh.
Wanted Series,
Can't
Fever
wait.
Road Series, Wanted Special Series, and Stressor Thing, a variety show made by the Universe app. At this point, I'm sure you are itching to know more about each individual member, and I applaud you for being so patient. Let's get to know every member of Ateez.
I call him the leader. In a video, someone's like, he's not the leader, he's the captain. Oh, I should probably pay attention. 1998, but I know he's not the oldest, right? I think somebody should that. He's a leader / captain, but he's not the oldest. Leader, Africa, unofficial sub vocalist. Okay.
His captain.
Before we talk about all that is Hongjoong, you should know that he is never called a leader, but a captain. Atiny and Ateez alike both call him their captain. And Yunho even said that the members have to pay him money if they mess up and call him a leader. Hongjoong was the first to join KQ in 2016. Though KQ Entertainment was not accepting trainees at the time, Hongjoong sent them a mixtape with a letter saying he wanted to be an artist who writes his own music. KQ taking a chance on this teenager would mark the beginning of a long and rewarding journey for Hongjoong, Ateez, and KQ Entertainment. Hongjoong is one of the only 2 members that make up the 98 line. If you watch a lot of Ateez content, you'll end up hearing from multiple members that Hongjoong stands as the father of the group. Watching him will undoubtedly prove that statement as true. Hongjoong produces a lot of Ateez's songs, and even wrote over 40 songs for Ateez before debuting.
Wow.
This includes Sunrise, Horizon, Good Lil Boy, Celebrate,
Good little boy.
Rocky, All About You, and Ateez's ethereal song Aurora, which is a favorite of Ateez. He was, and is, extremely passionate about what he does, to the point of not sleeping. And that shows in the fruit of his hard work.
You should
An
sleep
ongoing
though.
joke between Ateez and Atiny is that Hongjoong doesn't know where the dorm is because he sleeps at the studio. As outrageous as that sounds, Hongjoong does actually sleep in his studio a lot. Hongjoong loves learning more about his craft, and even spent extra time in Los Angeles after their 2022 tour to learn from a few producers here. Hongjoong is very serious when he writes Ateez's songs. He sees it as an opportunity to make a statement about life, love, and loss. He likes to write about the struggles we all face in life, but also all the ways that we overcome them. This is why you'll find many people
I like when there's a
crying to the
balance.
songs he writes. Not only is Hongjoong a top-notch producer and songwriter, but he reforms clothes and many other items. Ateenies love to see the most recent thing he takes and transforms. Hongjoong often uses his reforming to make a statement, which shows in the jacket he reformed while he was in America and wore to the Grammy Museum that said, "No one like me." Hongjoong loves encouraging people, and he loves people in general. He is a part of multiple social justice movements like the Polished Man campaign, which goal is to end child abuse. This is why you'll see him having one painted nail all the time. He is always thinking of ways to give back to the world and make Ateenies happy. He even made us a non-copyrighted vlog soundtrack and organized his own photography exhibition just for Ateenies and donated all the proceeds to charity.
Ooh, and it's nice. Ooh. That's nice, chill. Wow, so he's just like one of those like really just super creative people, huh?
Some other hobbies Hongjoong has is taking pictures and making covers of his favorite songs. His most recent busking session included multiple covers of songs from artists he loves, like David Bowie and Michael Jackson. He has also made more official covers with his personal content by Hongjoong. Hongjoong is a standout rapper and very versatile in his style. His trademark is the laugh, giggle or chuckle he makes before he begins his verse.
Oh, I love this concept they have.
Many people find that if they hear Hongjoong laugh in a song, it is a guarantee that it's going to be amazing. Hongjoong is also a low-key singer. He sings in a lot of Ateez songs, which is why his style is so versatile. He likes to play around and test his limits when it comes to song creation. When you watch an Ateez stage, one thing you will undoubtedly notice is the almost crazy presence Hongjoong brings to the stage. When he performs, it is an automatic party. His facial expressions are very animated and range from extremely fun to extremely scary, depending on the song.
Remember this song?
Because of this, he earned himself a role as part of Ateez's Demon line, which you'll find out more about later. But it is important to note that Hongjoong is very capable in dancing as well.
Yeah, they all are.
Hongjoong speaks and understands English the most out of the group, and helps translate for the members during American interviews. Though Hongjoong is extremely hardworking, recently you can notice that he allows himself to have fun and let out tension.
That's good.
And this makes Ateenies very happy.
That's healthy. You gotta have some fun. You gotta work hard. You gotta play hard.
If there's anything you should know about Hongjoong, it is that his love for Ateenies spans the length of the Milky Way. Everything he does is for us, and to us. He loves talking to us and believes that we hung the stars in the sky. Recently, during the American tour, Hongjoong said something to Ateenies that has now really become a foundational quote from Ateez to Ateenies.
I would say, no matter where you are and who you are and what you become, we will always be there by your side. Like this. So, okay, 18 years. Hey, don't cry. Don't cry. If you cry, I will cry too, so don't cry. So, 18 years. You will stay with us like this, right?
I like the way it's broken up. The dragon. Vocalist and visual. Sub rapper. Unofficial. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool to put the unofficial thing there too. Because you know things change, you know, once the music starts getting made, once the performances start happening.
Seonghwa was the 5th member to join Ateez. He was close to giving up because he felt that he wasn't good enough. When the director of his dance school told him about a boy his age who was working very hard, this gave Seonghwa the energy to keep practicing. Seonghwa ended up auditioning to KQ. Later on, Seonghwa found out that Hongjoong was the boy his director told him about, and the one that indirectly gave him the strength to keep going. Atiny's like to say that Hongjoong and Seonghwa debuting in Ateez together was destiny.
Yeah,
For all intents and purposes, Seonghwa is the mother of the group. Now, if you're following along,
I was literally when they said that Hongjoong was the I went back too far. That's why I don't want to go back. When they said that Hongjoong was the father of the group, I was gonna say, okay, but is there a mother of the group? And there is. Yay. Because I just noted that automatically just means that that's like a really cute dynamic, both with the quote unquote father of the group, but also with the other members. And, you know, the mom friend is really just a special. The dad friend that's a really funny position. Because usually it just means they're not that strict. You know, maybe making little corny jokes, kind of just lets the kids, i.e. the other group members, the younger members, do whatever they want. And then the mom of the group tends to be a little bit more strict, you know, very strict about the honorific. Very much like, wear this, do that, you need to go to bed, blah, blah, blah. You know, kind of keeps the kids in line. And I'd be interested in the future as I get into them to see what it really means for them to be the dad and the mom of the group.
Later on, Seonghwa found out that Hongjoong was the boy his director told him about, and the one that indirectly gave him the strength to keep going. Atiny's like to say that Hongjoong and Seonghwa debuting in Ateez together was destiny. For all intents and purposes,
Hongjoong has such sort of early 2000s style. I like it.
If you're following along, this would mean that he is married to Hongjoong.
Married? How do we get to marriage?
엄마 아빠 가운데 앉고 야 자식 놈들
I'm with it.
엄마 아빠 큰아들 둘째 아들 둘째 아들 그래요. 야.
Which tracks, because while Hongjoong and Seonghwa don't have a vast set of idol friends, they are each other's best idol friend.
Oh my
Seonghwa
goodness.
helps Hongjoong
It all
in
sounds so
controlling
familiar.
the craziness of the group. Though Hongjoong teases and acts like he doesn't like Seonghwa, they actually mean a lot to each other. One of Ateez's songs, Thank You, was written by Hongjoong to Seonghwa to express all the things he couldn't say to him. Seonghwa and Hongjoong have one of the most popular ships, which is called Seonghjoong. They are not as vocal about it, but if you look closely at their interactions, you'll see their amazing friendship. Seonghwa is the second half of the 98 line and the oldest member in Ateez. Though Seonghwa is both the oldest member and the mother of the group, it would be hard to pick him out of a lineup next to the 99-liners. He seamlessly fits in well with the 99-liners because of his ability to be very playful and bordering on chaotic
it's 1 year. He has such sharp features, like his bone structure and stuff.
One thing you will hear constantly about Seonghwa is his ability to help members through tough times. He is a source of comfort for many of the members, and
Idols and
Yunho
knives,
himself
man.
said that he goes to Seonghwa for comfort. Seonghwa is one of the most caring people, and he extends this to all Ateenies. In fact, Seonghwa calls us his stars. This has more meaning when you learn that Seonghwa's name means to be a star.
On the first tour, I did say, you guys were brighter than the star, remember me? But now I see that you are the light of the stars.
Aww. That's swoon-worthy.
Surprisingly, the Seonghwa you see today was nowhere to be found years ago. It took a long time to get him to the place he is today.
Yeah, confidence. Yeah.
Seonghwa said that, pre-debut, he used to grow out his hair to hide his eyes and face because he didn't like the way he looked.
Aww.
He would practice really early in the morning or really late at night because he was afraid of someone hearing him sing. Now, he says, because of all of the love Ateenies have shown him, he has learned how to love himself. Even more, according to the members and Seonghwa himself, he is the most likely to be caught taking a selfie. He couldn't imagine it before, but because Ateenies call him handsome so often, he said he is able to see himself as handsome now.
And he is the visual of the group. That's amazing.
성화한테.
Yeah.
성화. Who is the visual of Ateez?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Seonghwa is known for his amazing vocals and his outrageous performance abilities. Like Hongjoong, the person Seonghwa becomes is a 180 from who he is off stage.
Ooh.
Seonghwa is the second member of
I was ready for
Ateez's
gorillas to
Demon
start.
Lion. This title is rightly earned once you see for yourself his burning expressions, swift tongue movements, and graceful dance moves. Though Seonghwa debuted as a singer,
no.
he auditioned to KQ as a rapper. Recently, though, Seonghwa has gotten multiple chances to put his shockingly great rap skills out in the open. He has rapped on multiple songs, and Ateenies are absolutely obsessed.
Wait, before he starts spitting, I say oh no because I was getting. I wonder if I haven't. They haven't like I haven't like heard him singing by himself in this yet. But I do know that there is a member that I thought sounded somewhat like Key from Shiny. And I don't know if it was him, but somebody did. But all I will say though is something about his energy is giving Key, and Key is my bias in Shiny. It's just something about this sort of just in his performance. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know anything else. Just looking at these clips, there's like this sort of somewhat feminine kind of elegance to how he, and sass and elegance to how he moves on stage. I am obsessed with that in men idols or guy idols. I'm like obsessed with that energy on stage. It is something that hooks me right away, and it gets all of my attention. And ironically, to me, it's something so powerful about that. To me, there's something so powerful about guys who are not only not afraid, but embrace and lean into a more feminine kind of energy, into the power of femininity. And I just think that it's something I appreciate in the world of K-pop, that guys will willingly just go for that or embrace that, and make it their style even sometimes, without any worries about, without this hyper masculinity kind of crap and BS, and with no concern for that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a way of expressing. It's just a way of moving. It's just a way of exuding a certain kind of power. And again, I could be wrong, and it could just simply be that I was watching certain choreographies where everyone was doing that or presenting that way, but it caught my attention here with him. So I'm in trouble if that actually is alluding to a type of energy that he just brings either all the time or to the stage, because he'll probably end up being my bias.
With the persona of rapper Seonghwa.
Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this rap. Okay, that was him.
Another thing you might hear a lot of is how physically perfect Seonghwa is. We're not kidding. At a glance, it is quite obvious that Seonghwa has the most perfect teeth. But one thing that can't be seen from afar are his perfect hands, lips and nose. The Ateez staff claim the same, and Seonghwa himself also boasts of his perfect hands. One of Seonghwa's hobbies and passions is his love of ASMR. When each member of Ateez created their own series based on things that interested them, Seonghwa took it upon himself to create ASMR videos that were as funny as they were satisfying. Both Atiny and Ateez compare Seonghwa to a dragon, namely Toothless, the dragon from the movie How to Train Your Dragon.
That's adorable.
Seonghwa bears a striking resemblance to Toothless and has received countless plushies of the dragon. A skill not a lot of people know about Seonghwa is his makeup expertise. According to Seonghwa, he used to love putting makeup on when he was young. And he said, in a recent variety show, Stressor Things, when he was tasked to apply makeup on a ghost, that he was good at makeup. Seonghwa is also known to be very current on K-pop girl groups. He knows a lot of their choreographies and is praised for covering them very well. All in all, Seonghwa is someone you want by your side during both the good times and the bad times.
So this should be okay. Yunho. Okay, so now after so after Yunho, I'll stop the first part. Okay. Main dancer, vocalist. Excuse me, 6'1". I haven't even been paying attention to height. Or MBTI, because I don't know what any of it means and I don't care. Well, I guess I don't care because I don't know, right? I know him because, okay, yes, so Yunho, that's what it is.
Before we begin talking about Ateez's golden retriever, I mean Yunho, I should begin by saying that Yunho is everyone's dog. I mean boyfriend. I mean husband.
What?
Honestly, he is all of those things. Shockingly enough, his birthday is actually on World Puppy Day.
Aww.
멍멍이 같아. 여기 열심히 해보고 있는 이렇게 입어. 아니 뭐해? 왜 뽑았냐면 대형견 같았어. 그런 매력이 있는 것 같아서 고마워.
왜 이렇게 윤호를 사랑스러운 눈빛으로 보고 있니?
나도 그렇게 보면 안 돼.
Something that is often said on Atiny Twitter is that everyone has a bias, but everyone's boyfriend is Yunho. Yunho was the second member to join KQ. He joined 6 months after Hongjoong through an audition as a dancer and trained to become a vocalist and the main dancer. Not only is Yunho Atiny's ideal husband, but Yunho is beloved by all the members. At the risk of sounding like a cheesy teen movie, everyone wants to be Yunho or be with Yunho. Ateez's members often say that he is one of the nicest people ever. He has the perfect height.
He has that energy.
And he never loses his smile. This gift of happiness is something Yunho uses for the good of everyone. Ateez says that when everyone is losing energy, Yunho is the one to cheer them up and energize them. His goal for Ateez
little
is
happy
to be a
pill,
vitamin
little happy
for us,
virus.
and I can't think of anything that describes him better.
하면서 사실 멤버들이 그때그때 텐션이 떨어지거나 또는 힘든 시기들이 있었는데 윤호는 그런 거 좀 아랑곳하지 않고 좋은 텐션으로 이렇게 대감을 나올 수 있게 노력해준 것 같아서 너무 고맙고 그런 거에 대해서 따로 언급은 안 하지만
you need that person, man. You need that person in the group.
고마워.
Just one look at
Because times will get hard. Times will get hard. These idols do not have it easy.
Forgetting why you were sad to begin with. An example of Yunho's encouraging spirit is a quote from him that said, "My self-motivating phrase is that I wake up every day and tell myself I can do it." He said that there is nothing you can't do when you put your mind to it. Yunho is one of the funniest members of Ateez, and the weirdest. Though Yunho is the first of the 99 liners and one of the oldest. What is great about him is that he doesn't mind coming off as odd if it means he is being true to who he is. Or if
it's making everyone laugh. Right.
He once asked Atiny if they would still love him if he pooped. The answer was an unsurprising yes, and Yunho responded with, "I know. I trust Atiny." Though Yunho has the superpowers to make any situation funny, he is not always a playful person. He is very hardworking and serious about his craft.
Yeah.
Something you will find about Yunho as you venture further into the world of Ateez is that he is extremely competitive. Which for him is okay, because Yunho hardly loses. The members call him lucky, and Yunho has confirmed that luck time and time again.
Nice. Oh goodness. Who was that character in Deadpool, Domino?
A standout fact about Yunho is that he is an astonishingly great dancer. Being tall presents its own challenges to dancing, but Yunho seems to overcome them all with ease. During their
That's
training
interesting.
in Los
I would love to hear more about that.
Yunho was the only member chosen
because
by
I certainly know how
choreographer
being
and
short
Millennium
presents
to
a
record
challenge
the
for
dance
dancing.
video they would
I've never heard
upload
it the other
to
way
YouTube.
around.
Yunho was also the only member to record a solo dance performance video to add to the 3 KQ Fellas performance videos.
This rush, one hit wonder. Yeah, that's a fact. Hit his ass to the police, wonder where I'm at. Make so much money off this goddamn song. Still get in your ass like a goddamn phone.
Yunho's dance skills are something all the members aspire to. According to Ateez, Yunho helps them all with learning the choreography straight from the beginning, because his body has already memorized the moves. Yunho is very exact with his movements and catches the technicalities of a choreography almost immediately. This gives him a strong advantage in pulling off a powerful performance on stage. Like the last 2 members I have already mentioned, in what seems to be the theme of Ateez, Yunho is also an excellent performer.
I go so hard on that one song I like put on repeat that I heard. That's an XO color?
Something that has been the topic on the minds of many an Atiny on Twitter is Yunho receiving more recognition for his dance skills. So, if you are an Atiny or plan on becoming one, please show our Yunho a lot of love. Yunho is also known for his golden vocals. His voice can range from a lower tone to a smoother high tone, and each sound is blissful.
Turbulence. I think that's the song I heard. I mean, the other one that I
If it
couldn't think
doesn't
of the
already
name.
seem like Yunho is perfect, Yunho is also an actor. He recently played a main role in his first drama, Imitation, and he did an amazing job.
근데 마하 옆에 친구로는 오래 있으려고요.
Okay.
긴장 놓지 마시라고요. 너무 여유로 보이시길래.
Dang. Talk to him. Talk to him. Alright, no violence. Go back to talking to him.
Yunho has always wanted to pursue, and he plans to see where his acting career will take him. Also, Yunho, along with Hongjoong, served as a DJ for season 3 of Idol Radio. According to the group, Yunho is the one most likely to be caught playing video games. He wears this badge proudly and has no problem admitting to it. He likes to play in his room and does so a lot when he has free time. Yunho is an avid fan of Harry Potter and Spider-Man. Rather than an idol, his true dream is to be Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Spider-Man, 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 with great power.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh.
Comes great responsibility. Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Spider-Man, you can do this! Let's go!
Recently,
I support
on an
it.
interview Ateez did with Wired, we found out that Yunho is the only member of Ateez that has a license and can drive.
That's
To sum
wild.
everything up, Yunho is perfect and everyone
It
should
is
love
8
him.
of them, and one person got to drive to the store. That's absurd. They gotta do better. I say it. I don't drive. Not using that as the inspirational quote at the end. That's perfect. No, that's perfect. Will you still love me even if I poop? I think that for anyone who watches this guide, when you propose to your love, because I've decided that's how that's going to go for everyone who watches this, you just have to do this first. You don't know if it's like marriage material unless you know for sure that they're going to love you even when you poop. So inspiration. They're also inspirational. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this here. I'm gonna split it up like I said. It's been an hour. Of course, 20 minutes is just me talking, right? But you know, I'm loving it so far. This is such a wonderful guide, wonderfully put together. And I do respect that it's gonna take much more exploration to understand the like background and their like storyline. As they said themselves, it's quite convoluted, so I know that's going to take some time. You know, so I'll just embrace that and as I go along. Okay, so this is the end of part 1. I'm gonna check the audio and make sure everything is still smooth. Maybe grab some hot chocolate or something and come back, record the second part, and hopefully I can just upload these sort of like back to back. I don't plan on like uploading one part 2 days, another part. I really just rather post both parts pretty much back to back. Doesn't make sense to me to post them days apart. Okay, so thanks for hanging out with me, and hopefully I'll see you in like a few minutes. Bye.